Welcome back to the channel all about cooking for beginners. And today we're going to make scallion pancakes, or otherwise known as authentic Chinese bing. Ingredients are on the screen now. And to begin, we have our flour, to which we add a little bit of salt and our water. Afterwards, we stir it all around and then knead it into a very shaggy dough. Once we have our shaggy dough, we turn it out onto the work surface and begin kneading it some more, the motion of which is to push it out and then pull it back. Push, then pull, rotating as needed. This will develop a much stronger gluten network. Once the dough develops a smooth surface and isn't sticking to anything, we are all set with a kneading process. This should take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. Set it in a bowl, cover it so it doesn't dry out, and let the gluten relax so it's more workable later. So after letting it rest for another 5 to 10 minutes, we turn it out onto a floured work surface and begin to roll it out a little bit. I like to then fold it into thirds and then re-roll it because it'll make turning it into a rectangle much easier down the road. One trick I like to use to decrease the rolling time is to flour the surface, fold it over, and then roll over that. This way we can roll 2 layers at once. Afterwards, unfold it and roll over that crease to even out the thickness. So once your dough is about 1/8 of an inch thick and in a roughly rectangular shape, you're all set. I like to even out the edges because they can tend to be thicker than the center by folding them over the rolling pin and just sort of rolling it out there, flattening the edges. Do this all over the dough. Afterwards, we give it a good drizzle of oil and then fold the dough onto itself and then spread it back to coat the entire top surface with oil. We do this until there's no dry spots remaining. Finally, we sprinkle on the chopped scallions and then roll up the dough. I like to seal the edges by pressing them down and then tucking them underneath the dough. So this recipe makes 2 scallion pancakes. Therefore, cut the roll in half, seal the edges, and then I like to give them a good pull/tug, gently banging it on the table. You don't have to be too extensive with it, but just stretch it out a little bit. Finally, coil up the dough, and once you get to the end, take the end part, tuck it underneath the coil, and then smush it to form a disc. Here's the process repeated with the second roll. Next up, we flour up the work surface again and roll out the disc, flipping it and turning it as needed until we get it to roughly about 1/2 inch thick. You're going to get some scallions peeking through the dough, and that's okay, just as long as most of them are still within the dough and not peeking out. And now we can begin to cook. So take your pan, heat it on medium heat, and put a little bit of oil and then wipe it out like you're trying to clean the pan. If during the heating process your oil looks splotchy, just wipe it out again like you're trying to clean it. This is to develop a non-stick surface. If you have a non-stick pan, you can go ahead and skip this step. Once the oil starts smoking, lower the heat to medium-low and put your first pancake on there. We're going to let it cook on this side undisturbed for 2 minutes. Once those 2 minutes are up, we're going to give it a flip and let it cook on this side for another 2 minutes. We're going to repeat this process of letting it cook for 2 minutes and then flipping until we see these dark brown spots on both sides. This took 4 to 5 flips for me, but because everyone's stove is different, keep going until you see those dark brown spots on both sides. Once you have those, you are done. Cut it up and enjoy! I hope you found this recipe useful, and for more videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.